Parliament's Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence has cleared the Deputy Minister of State Security, Zizi, of allegations made against him regarding the Phala money theft at President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm. The committee has found that there was no independently verifiable information to support allegations against Kodwa and use of Secret Service account for the SAPS-CI. Well, let's try and get the latest now. Athi Mtongana is in Parliament for us and she joins us live. Athi, good morning to you. So this latest news likely to, I suppose, get the opposition parties reacting. What do they have to say on the back of the clearing of the Deputy Minister of State Security?
Well, it's going to be interesting, Xoli, what other opposition parties will have to say after this decision by the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. But you'd remember that it was the Democratic Alliance that laid the complaint against the Deputy State Security Minister, Zizi. Among some of the allegations, of course, leveled against him was that he knew about the robbery at President Ramaphosa's Phala farm and then proceeded not to inform the authorities. But I do have with me the Chief Whip of the party. Thank you so much, Cyril, of your time. I want you to take us back to those allegations that you leveled against Zizi.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that we had said to the Speaker a couple of months ago, Athi, was that an ad hoc committee would need to investigate this matter in its entirety because it cross-cuts amongst a number of state institutions, including state security and, in fact, specifically implicating the Deputy Minister, Zizi, implicating the Commissioner of SAPS, implicating and inferring that there was an abuse of the State Security Fund. And all of these things and other alleged cover-ups were something that Parliament needed to be engaged with. What the Speaker did, which we, in our view, cynically believe was a way to kick for touch, she then referred the matter to the Joint Standing Committee with the mere letter referring the matter. And of course, the committee has now come back to say, well, there's nothing more we can do about this because we don't have any further evidence to refute what the Deputy Minister has said to us. But this is exactly why we have said and long held to the Speaker that an ad hoc committee similar to the one we had during the Ganda debacle needed to be established so that you have the evidence before then you start referring things and matters to the various committees. But she has purposefully, in our view, delayed this matter by kicking for touch to the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence, and now we're back exactly where we started a couple of months ago.
So do you then feel that the ad hoc committee would get much more independently verifiable information, which is what this particular outcome is of the Joint Standing Committees, that they didn't find information, tangible information, to link the Deputy State Security Minister to these very serious allegations?
Absolutely, and also more importantly, Athi, an ad hoc committee would do its work in an open and transparent manner. We know that the JSCI does its work behind closed doors. And so even some of the questions that are posed to the Deputy Minister, we can't have access to them. All that we know now is that they've come back to say to Parliament, here is a report, a 2-page report that says, we pose the questions to the Deputy Minister. He knows nothing of it. And so it's simply not good enough. What is happening here is Parliament simply ticking boxes to appear to be doing something about this matter when in fact we are not.
Where to from there? Because now that report is going to be referred to the National Assembly. How are you going to respond to that?
Look, we are now revisiting our request for an ad hoc committee to say to the Speaker, you can't. Part of the reason why you rejected our request was because you'd be referring this matter to the Standing Committee of Intelligence. Now that they've kicked it back, you have no choice. There is no other choice but to establish the ad hoc committee. The Section 89 inquiry does its own work, looking into the impeachment process of the president. It does not deal with people like the Deputy Minister and other state institutions.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. That's all we have time for with the Chief Whip of the Democratic Alliance here in Parliament. Mtongana,
thanks indeed for that update.